Traditional curriculum models operate as rigid pathways. In this one-size-fits-all system, the burden of adjustment falls entirely on the student. If a learner's profile doesn't match the predetermined track, they are blocked from participating. When students fail to fit this fixed mold, education systems typically respond with accommodations, reactive, localized patches applied after the fact to help outliers survive a system not built for them. Inclusive curriculum design inverted this relationship. The central question shifted from how to force students into a static curriculum to how the curriculum can be architected to fit every student from the outset. This approach abandons reactive fixes in favor of a proactive, human-centered architecture built from first principles. To manage the cognitive, physical, and sociocultural diversity in a modern classroom, this inclusive architecture integrates three distinct systems. The first layer, Universal Design for Learning, UDL, provides the engine for cognitive and physical accessibility. The second layer, Equity and Social Justice, provides the framework for systemic fairness and resource distribution. The third layer, Cultural Responsiveness, establishes an environment that validates identity and utilizes diversity as a learning resource. Successful inclusion requires these three pillars to operate simultaneously, supporting every learner across the entire cohort. We begin with accessibility. Within this framework, a curriculum is designed to be usable by the widest range of learners from its inception, which reduces the need for individual accommodations later. This UI panel illustrates the UDL framework. Its first vector, representation, dictates that information must be provided in multiple forms. Pairing written text with audio, visuals, or tactile objects removes barriers excluding students with visual, hearing, or learning difficulties. The second vector is engagement. Because learners possess different internal drivers, the curriculum must offer diverse ways to maintain interest and motivation. For a social learner, this might mean collaborative group projects. For a student with autism spectrum disorder, it might mean the security of a predictable, low-noise routine. Before a student can be expected to produce work, the curriculum must first guarantee accessible input and sustained motivation. The third vector, action and expression, focuses on output, allowing students to demonstrate mastery through multiple channels. Relying strictly on written exams penalizes students with physical or specific learning disabilities, even when their understanding is complete. By accepting alternative outputs, such as oral presentations, physical models, or augmentative and alternative communication tools, the curriculum measures knowledge rather than the physical ability to write. UDL ensures that the cognitive and physical interactions with the material are barrier-free for all neurologies and physiologies. While UDL removes cognitive barriers, the second pillar, equity, addresses the imbalances of power and access to resources. There is a vital distinction between equality and equity. Equality provides the exact same resource, regardless of starting point. This fails, ignoring diverse conditions. Equity, however, provides precisely what each learner needs to reach a successful outcome. In practice, this means providing a student with a learning disability extra time on an exam to ensure their grade reflects their knowledge, not their processing speed. It also extends to socioeconomic and linguistic barriers, such as providing free learning materials or bilingual resources to those who lack them. The equity protocol ensures that traits like caste, wealth, or learning differences do not dictate a student's success. The final pillar, cultural responsiveness, centers student identity rather than settling for passive tolerance of differences. It treats diverse languages, traditions, and experiences as an active resource. By linking abstract lessons to the real-life communities and family backgrounds of the learners, the curriculum becomes personally meaningful, enriching the overall pathway. This requires curriculum materials, especially in literature and science, to avoid stereotypes and ensure that diverse voices are accurately represented. This builds a safe, welcoming environment where every student's identity is validated, eliminating the psychological effects of marginalization. If UDL builds the roads and equity provides the fuel, cultural responsiveness is the environment that makes the journey worthwhile. Together, these three pillars form a cohesive, interacting ecosystem. UDL guarantees that the student can physically and cognitively interact with the material. Equity guarantees they have the specific resources and fairness required to do so without arbitrary penalty. Cultural responsiveness guarantees the material resonates with their lived reality. This architecture transforms students from passive receivers into active participants with voice, choice, and agency in their own education. This design framework executes modern, systemic educational mandates at a national level. It fulfills the requirements of the National Education Policy 2020 by making flexibility and comprehensive support the standard for every classroom. These principles uphold the Right to Education Act, making a quality education a fundamental right for all, rather than a privilege. Ultimately, this design returns education to its core philosophical goals: compassion, fairness, and empowerment. By making human diversity the baseline parameter of design, the curriculum ensures that every learner has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential.